Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Welcome to this emergency podcast. Quickly, we got Shaykh Haitham al-Haddad joining us shortly, inshallah. We're going to be asking him some of the questions that you have about the recent escalation between tensions and the all-out war, really, broken out between Iran and the Zionist occupation in occupied Palestine, so-called Israel, led by Benjamin Netanyahu. So, Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh. So we'll get straight into the first question. Who do we support? What is the shar'i position when it comes to these two regimes attacking one another? Both of them have a huge amount of blood on their hands, innocent people's blood, in particular Muslim brothers and sisters' blood. What is the Shari'i position and who should we be supporting? Some people may be thinking.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So many people are asking about the Islamic position regarding the war that is taking place by the Zionist state of Israel and the Iranians or Iran. And of course, we all know the history of this Zionist state and the crimes of this state and the genocide that is taking place by their hands in Gaza and the occupation that has started maybe way before 1948, etc., etc. This is well known. We don't need to speak about it. On the other side, people say, but Iran is a Shia Rafidi state, and we know what they did in Syria, what they did in Yemen, Iraq, and other places. And we also know about their ambition, etc. So some people might say, but in reality, both are our enemies. I mean, the enemies of Ahl Sunnah, the enemies of Muslims. So what is the Islamic position regarding that? See, the way we need to look at it is we should not look at it and evaluate it in an emotional way. We have to be careful. Also, we should be very careful that we should not talk about the crimes of Israel alone without looking at the bigger picture or the crimes of Iran. And then we say, oh, you want Iran to win the war, but look what they have done, this and that. No, we should look at it from a geopolitical perspective. And subhanAllah, brothers and sisters, this geopolitical perspective is actually the Islamic way of measuring things or judging such big conflicts. From an Islamic perspective, we judge things, we judge such things according to the outcome, the possible outcomes, and the consequences of such conflict. We all know that Allah Jalla wa Ala told us about this rule in so many verses in the Quran. Even the Prophet ﷺ said, وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَّا نَوَى. Look at the outcome, don't look at the action itself. Allah Jalla wa Ala says, وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَيَسُبُّوا اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. Don't do something before you see the possible outcome, even if that is a good thing to do. Also, we all know about, subhanAllah, a geopolitical conflict that took place between the Romans and the Persians during the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Surah Rum spoke about it. Alif Lam Mim غلبت الروم في أدنى الأرض وهم من بعد غلبهم سيغلبون في بضع سنين. And we know that, as it is mentioned in Sahih al-Bukhari, that Muslims at that time, the companions, wanted the Romans to win the war against the Persians. It doesn't mean that they like the Romans, of course, maybe someone can say that they like the Romans more because they are the people of the book, and the Persians were not the people of the book, and the people of the book is still closer to Muslims. But that doesn't mean that they agree with the Romans. That doesn't mean that they have no conflict with the Romans. But geopolitically, the Romans are closer to Muslims than the Persians. This is one way to look at it. But also, maybe the consequences of the victory of the Romans will be far better than the win or the victory of the Persians. So here we need to look at it from this perspective. If Iran were to lose or if Israel were to win, what are the consequences on us as Muslims, on the Middle East, globally? What will happen? Definitely, brothers and sisters, if Israel wins the war, then there will be major, major negative. It will be a disaster on the Ummah. Even to be honest with you, brothers and sisters, this will be a disaster for Syria itself. I know that so many Syrian brothers and sisters, they say, oh no, we don't want, or they hate Iran because of what it did to them. But imagine if Israel wins the war against Iran, what will happen? Israel the next day will attack Syria and will continue attacking Syria, and no one can stop them. Even Turkey at that time might not be in such situation, be able to stop Israel. Israel basically will be the superpower of the Middle East, and they will do whatever they want to do. Of course, as you know, the Arab countries are very afraid, and they will be even more afraid of doing anything. Of course, this means that they will finish the people, will finish the Palestinians, will finish the people in Gaza and the West Bank, and they will become even more brutal and aggressive. Some people might say, and this is, I don't think that anyone will argue about that. Some people say, but same thing, if Iran wins, it will be the superpower of the Middle East. Yes, if it will win, it might be a sort of a superpower of the Middle East, but still, ideologically, the Saudis, the Turks, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, will not accept the hegemony and the control of Iran. So there will continue some resistance for its hegemony. Basically, the consequences of Israel winning the war go way beyond if Iran wins the war. And we all know that Israel is not just Israel. Israel is the spearhead of the Western project. So therefore, if Israel wins the war, you can say that even the Western ideology will start to dominate more and more in the region, in the Middle East. So this is how we should look at it. Wallahu alam.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. So the geopolitical position, looking at the consequences, looking at the different masalih and mafasid, is the shar'i position, you're saying. What else are you reading into this escalation in the last few days? So the war is 2 days old now, 3 days almost. What are some of the lessons that you've noticed, that you've been reflecting on?
There are some other key points about this war between Israel, the Zionist state of Israel, and Iran. Of course, we woke up on Friday and we have seen what Israel has done to Iran. They have killed number of the top leadership of the Ministry of Defense or the military of Iran. They killed a number of Iranian nuclear scholars. They also attacked the nuclear facilities of Natanz, and even there are reports that they have attacked some other research centers and some other nuclear facilities in other places. That was, to be honest with you, a big shock. And even for so many people, they thought that that's it. Iran has finished, especially with the killing of the top leadership of the military and the army of Iran. But to be honest with you, Iran managed to recover quickly, which confirms a very important strategic perspective that Iran is a huge country. Iran, by the way, in terms of population, it is nearly 100 millions. And in terms of area, it is one of the biggest areas. The area of Iran is almost more than half of Europe. It is number 17th in the world in terms of its size and population. So, and of course, we know the history of Iran. We know also, this is a very critical point, that Iran continued for 8 years, had the 8 years of war against Iraq. So Iran is not a small country, is not a country that you can play with. They have the experience. They have been involved in many long wars. So that's why to defeat them is not an easy matter. I don't know what were the calculations of Israel or even the West America, America behind Israel. So yes, Iran is heavily infiltrated, and we all know that Israel have declared clearly that they killed a number of the commanders from within by the Mossad agents in Iran who were operating in Iran. Also, in the last maybe year or so, there were assassinations of so many Iranian nuclear scholars. So definitely this is a very weak element of the Iranian government or Iran. There is here, by the way, there is a very important lesson that we need to understand, that before you build your country and your military, etc., you need to build your people. You need to invest in your people. It is easier, or much easier, to build the nuclear facilities and missiles, supersonic missiles, etc. But if you can be easily infiltrated from within, you can be easily defeated. Anyway, Iran was not defeated, and that is a very major point when we want to understand this conflict between Israel and Iran. Of course, Iran managed to respond quickly, and the response was very strong. They launched so many attacks against Israel, and Israel now is not in a very good state. Of course, so many people are saying that Iran did not target strategic places in Israel. We don't know until now which areas or which strategic targets were destroyed by the Iranian missiles, but definitely the response of Iran was strong enough to threaten Israel and to make Israel to think twice about this conflict and this war.
Well, since then, Sheikh, attacks have been escalating and ramping up on both sides. Both sides hitting, different types of civilian and military infrastructure and energy and oil field, oil and gas fields and so forth. Do you think this is going to die down anytime soon?
So we have to understand a key point here, that if you cannot, in such conflicts, if you cannot finish your opponent, your enemy completely, then you have to reconsider your calculations. And maybe if you cannot finish him completely, it means that he wins. If you remember, when Israel started the aggression against Gaza, we said that if they cannot achieve their goals, then Israel will be seen as defeated. And over time, we have seen, and there were so many voices that they were talking about this. Now, if Israel and the West behind the Israel, or America in particular, if they cannot finish Iran completely, either militarily, or even if they manage to have an internal revolution against the current Iranian regime, then Iran will come out stronger. It will come out of this conflict stronger than before. And it will go to Oman, Muscat, where they used to have the negotiation with Trump administration about their nuclear programs. They will go with stronger cards. Yeah, they will play stronger cards. So now, is it possible to defeat Iran completely? I don't think so. But I learned something that is so important, that, in such conflicts, you cannot confirm easily. And there are things that may happen out of our understanding and calculation. And at the end of the day, وَيَمْكُرُونَ وَيَمْكُرُ اللَّهُ وَاللَّهُ خَيْرُ الْمَاكِرِينَ. They plot, and Allah Jalla wa Ala is the best of plotters. And we always say that, brothers and sisters, don't think and calculate things from a materialistic perspective only, because Allah Jalla wa Ala is there. Allah Jalla wa Ala, He knows everything, and Allah Jalla wa Ala decreed everything, and Allah Jalla wa Ala has His wisdom. Allah Jalla wa Ala is al-Hakim al-Khabir. Allah Jalla wa Ala is the all-wise. Allah Jalla wa Ala does things according to His own wisdom Jalla wa Ala.
Finally, Sheikh, many people have been wondering, what do you make of the Muslim majority countries that are not just standing by, but some of them are even, coming to the so-called Israel's defense? One brother, Sami Hamdi, mentioned it online about Jordan intercepting Iranian missiles as Israel's Arab Dome. What do we make of this? What do you make of this, Sheikh?
The last point that I would like to mention here is, it is very unfortunate, brothers and sisters, that we Sunnis, we don't have a global, strong, unified project as the Zionist state has, and the West behind it, or America behind it, and as also the Shia Rafidi state of Iran. Where is our project? Yes, we have Turkey, but Turkey has been targeted, and it is really a promising country, despite all the conspiracies around it. But we don't need just one single country like Turkey. We need other Sunni countries to be united and to have their own projects. Of course, it is very unfortunate that most of the leadership in Muslim Sunni countries are corrupted, and they are actually Western puppets, and they just want to, and we saw that all of them want to normalize with Israel. They want to please Israel. Now there is a potential, brothers. There is a potential of a Sunni power to exist, inshallah, in the Middle East. The potential is there. So as I said, we have Turkey, and let us not forget Pakistan. And we have seen the statement made by the Ministry of Defense of Pakistan and the defense minister, that they are going to support Iran fully, because they know, and they mentioned it, they made it clear that they know the bigger picture, and it is not about Iran, it is about any country or any Muslim Sunni, any Muslim state that wants to be independent of this Western hegemony, that especially if this Muslim country would like to be a nuclear state, such as Pakistan, so they will be targeted. So they will be the second target after Iran, and the Benjamin Netanyahu had made it clear that they will target Pakistan after Iran. So this project, inshallah, is a potential project for the Muslims, for the Sunni Muslims. We need to support that. Inshallah, there will be other Muslim countries that will join. Before I end this,
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I just need a few seconds of your time to tell you about our new campaigns that require your attention. Become one of 1,000 guardians who will defend the Ummah, safeguard minds, strengthen faith, and uphold the truth through our new transformative campaigns. Number 1, Palestine Truth, exposing lies, amplifying Palestine voices, and countering false Zionist narratives. Number 2, Guarding Innocence, countering godless ideologies, ensuring our children grow up proud of their faith, values, and identity. Number 3, Power of a Muslim Woman, opposing individualism, avid materialism, and social decay by showcasing our homemakers and mothers as the true builders of civilization. And number 4, hold on. Saving lives by providing support for those battling hopelessness and suicidal thoughts. For just £10 a month, you will be part of a mission that aims to impact 500 million lives, inshallah. Do not miss out on the huge reward. Click the link in the description below and donate.
Before I end this, I'd like to say that, listen, do you think that the Zionist state of Israel will live in peace after that? Yeah, they are living in a state of fear. Their people are living in a state of fear. We have seen that they are now using not only the shelters, but they are going into the tunnels and they are staying there. So the people of Israel, they are not used to such wars, and they will not be living in a state that they will not live in a state that does not provide them with full security and peace. They are not Muslims. They are not like us as Muslims. We as Muslims, because we know that this life is a test. خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ. It is a temporary period of life. So death for us is actually transformation to the second life, to Jannah. So for us, yes, death is painful, but we can manage to live in hardship. We can manage to see martyrs among us. So we can survive for a long period of time. And that is the power of Islam. But for non-Muslims, especially the Israelis, because of their religion, they don't have that belief. They don't believe in the hereafter. They don't believe in paradise. So this unique power of Muslims should make us proud of our religion, and should also give us confidence that we can stand long conflicts. Others cannot stand long conflicts, but we need to build ourselves. We need to build our iman. We need to build our unity. We need to be stronger in terms of technology, etc. And inshallah, this will happen. Of course, see, unfortunately, the absence of a Muslim superpower is leading to this global injustice and the global state of instability that is caused by a tiny Zionist state, and that's why we want Muslims to have this superpower in order to create an equilibrium within the Middle East, or in fact within the world globally. Yes, these were some of my comments about this conflict. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Jazakumullah khairan, Shaykh, for your time. And Jazakumullah khairan, brothers and sisters at home, for watching as well. Remember, as usual, give a like and a share if you like this podcast, emergency podcast. And also, remember to check out our Guardians campaign. Many of you have been signing up, Jazakumullah khaira, to be a guardian. Until next time, I've been your host, Salman Bak. Jazakumullah khairan to the Shaykh and to you all for watching. If you do have any questions or comments you'd like me to put to the Shaykh in the next few days, it's a rapidly unfolding situation. Please do let me know in the comments below, and I'll try my best to put them to the Shaykh, inshallah, or any other guests. Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.